Good morning, everybody. This is why I coach an indoor sport. And appreciate the weather today. Hey, we're really excited, as every coach is right now at the beginning of the year. We're about 10 days in, and we had a good kickoff from having the Australia trip, get us prepared, got a jump start, which I think has been extremely helpful both on the court and off the court. I think that this year the blend of having some very experienced players with Brandy Beasley coming back for her 4th year, Cece Rice in her 5th year, Petra Holoshinska, who's coming back off of her injury, has added. It's nice to see three-point shots going in on a consistent basis in practice from her. Courtney Jones coming back for her 4th. Allie Andrews. Again, all these kids have had a great deal of experience. And then you add Taylor Edwards, that everybody knows in this room is an incredible person who loves the Illini and has added a great deal to our culture. I think the interesting thing is the combination of the 3 freshmen that we've also brought in. They're impact freshmen. You're going to see them on the court. You're going to see Janae Terry, 5'11", plays point, plays off guard. I think the biggest thing about her, she can create offense. It's not something where we have to always set players up. Very versatile, passes the ball extremely well. Kylie Kennedy Miles from Ohio, 6'1", post player. Again, someone that can actually take it coast to coast. High energy player, boards well. And then Jada Peebles from North Carolina, another player, freshman that can score, can play defense. So I think that blend of experience with the freshmen that you'll see, I think is really outstanding. Our ability this year to have multiple scorers and people that can create offense, I think will make us a lot more difficult to guard. In the past, I think we saw a lot of scheming going on. I mean, obviously you don't replace Alex Whittaker, but you also have to make sure you move forward and let this team develop its personality. And one of their personalities is accountability. We talk about it almost every day in practice. The players want it, coaching staffs want it. I think everybody, when I said at the beginning of the year how excited, well, you know, excitement only lasts so long. You better bring your work ethic every day, your accountability, and that's the kind of energy we have at practice. And that is turning this program, I think, in the direction everybody expects us and what I expect. So, yeah, we're excited, but more importantly, we're willing to do the work this year daily, and you'll feel it from the players and the energy from the players and the energy in practice. If you step in today, I guarantee you're going to see something different than you've seen in the past. But that's part of the process. The teams before help us get to this point, so that's why we're excited. It's kind of it's put in, and it's why we can say this is because of our hard work right now and our go-to-work attitude. So, if with that, is there any questions about? Yes.
So without Alex, how has the offensive scheming changed? Does this become a more guard-oriented team? You mentioned the multiple scorers.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, if I didn't get the ball to Alex, I think you guys all looked at me, I'm pretty stupid last year, so that was obviously the point. But with that, the other teams knew it also. When you have multiple players, whether it's, you know, Petra that can extend the floor, players that can create offense, what I'm saying is if a coach is constantly trying to play a chess game, eventually that can be manipulated. Right now, with kids just making plays, and that's where you want to get to. You want to bring skilled players in that you put them in a position, and then they can make reads. And our offense this year is really dictated on their ability to make reads and get themselves in positions and know each other, what their skill sets are. So instead of always having, hey, I've got to get the ball here, and there's more kids looking to score within their skill set. And I think that's been something we've worked really hard on since Australia.
Last week you mentioned kind of increasing the intensity in that first practice. Have you noticed the players kind of keeping that up? You've had to push it all in the last 10 days?
That's why they put the whistle around my neck. But I think what's more important right now, I mean, it was interesting the first practice I told them it's different. You know, you kind of go through these phases in a season, and you have to make sure as a coach during the season that there's different gears. Because if you're just always like this, you know what I'm saying? In the summer, there's no place to go. So I told them before the practice started, I said, this is different. And one of the players, it's actually Cece Rice coach, she goes, I'm glad you warned us. They felt the difference, which to me was a good thing. But more importantly is the accountability. So I'm telling you, if the coaches are yelling, get your hands up, get your hands up, I told my coaches, stop doing that. Stop doing it. I said, if they don't do it, we do this. So guess what's happening in practice now? Do you think we're saying it? No, the players are saying it. That's the accountability you have to have. And that's why the energy is higher, because it's got to come from them. I don't play. We got to have our players play, and that's what's changing.
Coach, what was just the process like of bringing Taylor Edwards on and just what she brought to the team so far?
Bringing Taylor. Taylor came in and said, Coach, I played in high school. I want to wear an Illini uniform again. And I'll be honest, I made it tough because I'm like, Taylor, you haven't played in 4 years. And what a great career she had in softball. What a great person. And when you tell a player it's going to be tough, and I barely got a sentence out. Coach, that doesn't matter. I'm in. Well, and I go, but no, Coach, I'm in. And that tells you a lot about a player when you're trying to, and a person. So what she's brought in, softball is a successful program. They're postseason. More importantly, it's Taylor Edwards, the person. And already what she's bringing to this program in the locker room, I can tell you she has not lost one sprint, not one. And you know what's happening now? Do you know what our sprints are like? It's like, guess who's chasing her? I mean, every sprint now is just different. Simple sprint, how much one player can make a difference. And that's just a small example of what Taylor Edwards is doing for our program.
Going into your third year, can you see the players buying into now? Is it a lot easier to teach and the whole winning and your philosophy with the program?
I never thought these kids to never buy in, even when it was tough. The first year, or the second year. I'll be honest. The buy-in, I think, is why we're where we're at now. So those first 2 years where a lot of people want to go, what happened? I keep telling you, those kids did move the needle. You all may not have seen it. I saw it. So I never want to discredit all those players, Illini, that came before it. The difference is we know each other. I know them. I know the Big Ten better and the recruiting better. Everything is just accelerated. And so that the one thing at year 3, we know each other so well so that when I push and I push them, there's a relationship that's already off the court that helps create an environment. You can't push people you don't know. I'll tell you as a coach, if you don't know them as people and you try to push them all around the court, you will get pushed back. Sometimes I wanted to push the fast forward button these first 2 years, and sometimes you can't because it's just what you have to do the right way. And so those first two years, as hard as they were, the needle was moved. And I think that's what I know and I appreciate. But we want to see it on the court as much as you guys, and that's what we're pushing for.
Nancy, it was a challenge of losing Ariel Scott both on the court and off the court.
I mean, obviously, Ariel, we were really excited to have Ariel on the court. Her ability, obviously, she's an Illinois kid, and her ability to score, just stretch the floor. I mean, that's obviously, something we wish would have continued, but we always want to know that we're always in the best interest of a player and a person, and that's how Illinois works. She's in school here, and we're really excited for her to get a degree from such a great university.
Coach, should Petra kind of attack this offseason with that injury and kind of work her way to get back? How have you seen her kind of react to that?
Petra's tough. I mean, she just worked so hard, even when she got injured. I mean, going through that rehab of an ACL is extremely hard. We're basketball players that love team sports, and all of a sudden you get an injury, and you're by yourself. All that rehab and stuff is by yourself. But she is such a intellect, IQ basketball, like sitting on the sideline. She learns stuff from there, and I think, unfortunately, when players go through that, their drive to get back on their court and the appreciation of day-to-day is accelerated. Now you take someone that's already tough, has gone through that, has a high IQ. I mean, that addition just is different. Like, she'll come down and just, as much as you want to move around players and do all this, and all of a sudden someone just comes down and hits a 3 with the confidence that Petra does, and everybody kind of lowers their shoulders. If you notice, that consistency of having more players do that, not fall on a player, that's just going to be really helpful. So I'm just so excited for her. Coming off those injuries are extremely difficult, and kids have to have fight in the first place. So if you put a fighter in even another situation like that, I wouldn't want to guard her.
What did you learn or figured out about the Big Ten in this first 2 years about what it takes to win the conference?
It takes to win. All those things we just talked about. I mean, the culture, all that stuff. Players, you get the player and the skill set at this level is you have to do your job recruiting. I think you have to do your job in the sense that the scheming that goes on. You have to have multiple scorers. And I think that players that can create plays for you without you having to, like I said, play chess game. I think that's the size. I mean, it's a big league, and we're getting there. I understand where we're recruiting, so yes, that's what I've learned. Some ways the hard way.
Experience with the Greek national team, but that she hasn't played yet in the first couple of years here. What are you expecting?
Nancy?
Yeah.
You didn't say her last name. No, I said Nancy too, you notice? I think Nancy, she came off the ACL. She had not been played for 2 years because she redshirted and then she had an ACL. So she's coming back. I think the patience, it's not that she's physically ready to go, but going through that in 2 years, there's also other components that you have to let them develop. And it was interesting. About 2 practices ago, I went, Nancy, and I said, there's something different. She goes, I'm starting to feel it, Coach. I'm starting to feel it. And that part of the getting back and just having that, okay, I'm okay, I can get hit, all those things, you kind of have to let players do it in their own time. I think if you rush that, but that's what's, she's another big player we have been without. So I'm excited, again, for her to just be back on the court. Is that it? Can I say something? I want to tell you how important it is that, I want to say thank you for when you come in our gym, you watch us, you cover us, you're there. I want to tell you, it means something to me and it means something to our players. These kids are fighting hard for the Illini. So anytime you guys, I just want to say thank you, okay? Because this needle is moving. Thank you.